and change is necessary. And I understand you both face resource constraints, but this is a crisis that requires immediate action. We're gonna close now. Just a couple final thoughts for you. Director Peters, I have been genuinely encouraged by the tone of your tenure thus far, by the ambitious reform objectives that you've set out in public. And when we've met in private and during these public engagements, I've encouraged you to make good on those intentions and those promises. And I want to encourage you again to embrace the possibility that you can turn this agency around with everything that you've got. And I think you should expect that so long as I have the ability, I will be calling you back to the Senate to ask what progress you've made. And the one thing that concerned me from today's discussion is that your admirable plans for reform, which I hope you implement with speed and strength, need to be informed by a fulsome understanding of what's gone wrong in the past. And when we investigated Atlanta, what we heard from your predecessor was that he was blind, in my view, willfully blind, but blind to what was happening at the regional level and at the facility level. And the regional director didn't know what was happening at the facility level. You will be held accountable for knowing. And I believe you have an opportunity to establish a legacy as a reformer who saves lives and protects vulnerable people from sexual assault, one of the most heinous things that can happen to any human being. This has to stop. You have the power to stop it. I also hope that you will be responsive to the U.S. Congress. And I want to note that we are still awaiting answers to specific questions regarding U.S. Penitentiary Atlanta that were submitted following that July 26th hearing. You need to set the tone within your organization and working with DOJ's Office of Legislative Affairs that responsiveness to the Senate is essential, because it's not an encouraging sign when we are stymied in our efforts to conduct oversight. So thank you for your commitment to change, and please make good on it. Please cooperate fully with our efforts to support reform. We should be working together to make these changes. This will be the final hearing for the Permanent Subcommittee of Investigations this Congress. I believe that the work that we've done investigating conditions of incarceration and detention in the United States has been among the most substantive and focused effort in the history of the U.S. Congress. We have investigated corruption and misconduct at Bureau of Prisons facilities. We've investigated